This video will be the ultimate guide to homebrewing your Wii U, and it will also include how to get your virtual Wii completely set up as well. And if you weren't aware, homebrewing your Wii U is perfectly legal, so you don't have to worry about breaking the law here. However, there is a small risk that you can brick your Wii U, which is why I would suggest watching the video through fully once before actually following my steps. This will work on any Wii U that is updated to 5.5.6, and if you're in Europe, 5.5.5, as that's the latest version for your region. Now, this guide is going to include how to homebrew your Wii U, how to protect your Wii U by backing up your NAND and blocking updates, how to install games, apps, and DLC with WAP Installer GX2, how to download Homebrew apps directly on your Wii U, how to play your Wii U games straight from your Wii U menu off of a USB drive or hard drive, and I'll show you the best settings for your custom firmware. And on the virtual Wii side of things, I'm going to show you how to get the Homebrew channel, install custom iOSs to play games from an SD card, how to play games using USB Loader GX, and the open shop channel on getting Homebrew apps and games. So to get started, for this guide you will need a Wii U with an internet connection. You'll need an SD card. I'm going to be using this 32GB micro SD card with an adapter, but I would suggest at least 32GB to back up your NAND. You'll need a device to download files and set up your SD card. This can be a PC, or yes, you can use a phone, but that might be a little bit more difficult as long as you can plug in a SD card or micro SD. This is an option, but you can also set up extra storage using an external hard drive or USB stick. I have this MaxZone 500GB hard drive that I'll be setting up in this video. But with all of that out of the way, let's get started. Now, the first step to do is go down to the description and click on the link that'll take you to this Google Doc page that I've created. This will have everything you need to mod your Wii U. I highly suggest reading the disclaimer before getting started, but here we go. So let's plug in our SD card. I have an SD to USB adapter. You can see. Now, if you're interested in getting any of the items that I'm using, there are links down below where you can get them for yourself. But once it's plugged in, pull it up, and the first thing we need to do is make sure it's formatted as FAT32. So if it's 32GB or lower, just right click, hit properties, and as you can see, mine is FAT32 here, but if yours isn't, just right click, click format, and then format it to FAT32. Just so you know, when you format it, you lose everything on it. It'll wipe it, so make sure you back up anything that you don't want to lose. If your SD card is larger than 32GB, on the Google Doc page, scroll down where it says FAT32 format and go to that website. Here you can click the image, download Wii U format, you can run it, and it will look like this. So make sure you know which drive your SD card is in, and you can format it to FAT32 that way. If you have issues with this program, try restarting your computer. Make sure you don't have your SD card file open, and close other windows if you keep running into issues. But once you have it formatted as FAT32, head back to the doc that I've created and go to download. Also, if you're interested in the official written guide, which I will be following, it is linked there as well. But it's time to download our package. So click on the download link for FS47 Full Wii U Guide 2023, and you should see this. In the top right, just click download. It's too large to scan for viruses, but I promise, nothing to worry about. So click download anyway, and you'll download a zip file in the bottom left. Close this, we can close that, and open the zip file, pull up your SD card, and very simply go into Funky Scott 47 Wii U SD card, that's a mouthful, and just highlight everything and drag it onto the root of your SD card. Now, normally you need to download a bunch of different things for this process. However, I've compiled it all into one single download just to save a lot of time. But if you prefer getting the download separately, you can follow the official written guide. But once it's all transferred on, you can close the zip file, and we are pretty much ready to go. But now is the time. If you want to play Wii games on your virtual Wii USB Loader GX that we're going to be installing, now is the time to add them. So all you need to do is right click, click new, create a WBFS folder, and just drag your backups into that folder. They do have to be set up a certain way, but I won't be explaining that in this video. If you want to know how to set them up, you can check out my other videos. And it's transferred on, and as you can see, I have Wii Party inside. Don't worry if you do not have any backups already. I will be showing you how to install them from disk to your SD card, directly on your Wii U. One thing I forgot to mention, if you do decide to name your SD card, make sure you do not name it as Wii U, as that could cause issues with the Homebrew software. So just name it anything except Wii U. How about that one? Sub to FS47. But there we go, we are ready to head over onto the Wii U and get everything set up. So I will eject this and I'll meet you over there. Alright, and we're on the Wii U, so make sure it connects to the internet, plug in your SD card, and run the internet browser. Once this loads, we're going to go to enter URL and type in Wii U Exploit.xyz. And it should take you to this page right here. And now we're going to run the exploit, but when you do, make sure to hold down the B button. So let's hit run exploit and hold down B until we see what we want. And you should see the option to choose your payload. If your Wii U gets stuck on a white or otherwise frozen screen, wait a few seconds, and if nothing happens, reboot the console and try resetting the browser save data and to try again. If you get a please insert a FAT32 formatted SD card, try good old reliable and blow into the SD port, as that method has worked for me. It just clears some dust and then try again. But once you are here, use the arrow and go down to NAND dumper. Press A and we are going to back up our Wii U's NAND. Now this, depending on your model, could be 8 GB or 32 GB, so you do need an SD card larger than your NAND to back it up. If you do not have one large enough, you can skip the dump MLC part. MLC section will include the save files and game data, but it's not needed to recover most bricks, so you can skip that and not have any issues. But you would lose that if you do brick your Wii U. By the way, bricks are very rare, but it's always a good idea to back up your NAND just in case. So when you have those selected, just press A to launch it, and you will begin backing up your NAND. There we go. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but it has some text right here. Let me just pull it closer. It has some text right here, and it is backing up the NAND. So I will meet you when it's over. This can take a little while, so I'll meet you when it's done. And once it's completed, it will take you back to your Wii U menu. It'll reboot your system. That took about 3 minutes and 35 seconds for me. That's without the MLC. That might make it take a little bit longer, but that was very quick. And now it's time to power down your Wii U and place the SD card back in your PC. Once you open your SD card on your PC, you will notice a few new files. So now we are going to transfer the backup files onto your PC. So on your desktop or anywhere you want on your computer, create a new folder, call it Wii U Nand Backup. This is where we're going to place all the important files that we will need if our Wii U ever bricks. Again, very rare, but always a good idea to do this. So we're going to grab all of the important files, starting with the SLCC, SLC, CPROM, and OTP. If you backed up your MLC, you will see a bunch of different files with MLC in them. Make sure to back up all of those as well, but we're going to drag these files into our Wii U NAND backup folder. Remember to sub to FS47 if you found this helpful. They're backed up, and now we can delete them to free up some space. Now that they're backed up, we are ready to head back over on the Wii U. I'll meet you there. Alright, we're back on the Wii U, and now we are going to run that same exploit again. So head into your internet browser and type in Wii U Exploit.xyz. But now when we press run exploit, we're going to hold down the X button instead. So hit run exploit and hold X. And we'll keep holding it until we see what we want. We're going to be entering into the environment loader. And you should see this blue screen. As you can see, installer is currently highlighted with blue. And we're going to press A on installer. Press A on check. And now we're going to press A on install/update. Use the D-pad to navigate to install and press A. As you can see, this is by Michelle, RW, and Gary. So big shout out to them, but press A on install and it will install your Homebrew software, the payload loader, sorry. And now we're just going to press A to shut down the console. Alright, now my Wii U is back on and I will explain to you how this works. So now our Wii U currently is stock. This is not homebrewed. We need to run the exploit in order to get the Homebrew software on there. But instead of going into the internet browser, we now have the exploit in the health and safety information app. So every time you turn off your Wii U and turn it back on, it will be stock. You will need to run the exploit every time in order to get your Tiramisu homebrew software. But this is an option. You can set up Autoboot, so when you turn off your Wii U and turn it back on, it will automatically load into the exploit. So that's what I'll be showing you right now. Double click on the health and safety icon and hold X, and we're gonna load back into the environment loader. As you can see, that's a lot quicker this time as well. We're gonna press A on installer, press A on check, and now we have boot options. So we're gonna click A on boot options and switch to payload loader. Press A to shut down the console. And now when we reboot our console, it will load directly into the environment loader, and we'll make some changes to finalize our setup. As you can see, it loaded directly into the environment loader, and now we're going to change that so it will load into your Wii U menu, but the custom firmware version, the Tiramisu version. So we're going to navigate to Tiramisu with the D-pad and press Y. That will highlight it as the default. Press A. And you may see this big red warning. Don't worry, it's nothing to worry about. It's just saying that your update folder currently exists and that your system is not blocking updates. Don't worry, we are going to be blocking updates later in this video, so stay tuned for that and continue with the guide. So press A to continue. And here we're going to press Y on Wii U menu, and that will highlight it yellow, and press A to choose it. Now we are officially into the Tiramisu homebrew environment. Now, if you want to get into the environment loader, you need to turn off your console, turn it back on, but hold X when you turn the console on. That is how you run the exploit and get into environment loader now. Now, to make sure that you're in the Tiramisu environment, you can click into Wii Maker, and this will be your homebrew launcher. This will hold all your Wii U homebrew apps. The first thing that we're going to do is block updates. So go to UFDyn, and we're going to delete the update folder. This will just block our Wii U from being able to automatically update, as that can cause issues with custom firmware. So right now you'll see update folder exists. Just press A to delete the update folder. Bam, just like that, update folder is deleted. And then we'll press the home button to exit. And now your Wii U is officially homebrewed. And I'm going to show you what else I included in the download before heading over to the virtual Wii to get it homebrewed as well. And if you want to skip this part and head straight to the virtual Wii modding part of this video, just check the timestamps and skip ahead. So starting off, you should see Homebrew Appstore right here. You should be able to click on it, load it up, and you'll be able to download any Homebrew app that is available directly on your Wii U. So once it loads up, it'll be in here, and as you can see, we have a big option of different homebrew apps that we can download, which also include homebrew games that people have created. So let's download one just to show you how it works. So let's download Flappy Bird U. You just click on it, it'll give you a description and some information that you need, and then you just press A to download it. Very simple, and you can do it all directly on your Wii U, which is very convenient. So now it's downloaded, we can press minus to go back to the homebrew launcher, and there it is, Flappy Bird 3D. Just like that, we downloaded it directly on our Wii U. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is how to download games, DLC, updates, and homebrew channels directly onto your Wii U. But first, I'm going to set up my USB drive, my HDD, and I will walk you through that as well. Also, as you can see, when you press the home button in the homebrew launcher, it takes you to the Mii Maker. So here is my HDD 500 gigabyte Maxone. I have different ones linked below if you want to get your own. You will also need a Y splitter cable. As you can see, it splits the HDD cord into two USB drives. This will help power the HDD. So let's plug both of these into the back of my Wii U. So I just plugged it in, and it gives me this prompt, and we are going to format it to the Wii U. This will mean it will not be able to be read on your PC. It will be only for your Wii U. But we need this in order to install things to it. So we're going to click format. This will also wipe it, so if you have anything important on there, now's the time to back it up before doing this. Formatting complete, press OK, and now it should be good to go. Ready to install games and channels onto. Now we're going to hit the arrow, go to the right, and click on WUP Installer GX2. Click load, and it will load into this screen. I have already included the WUP Installer GX2 channel, so we're going to install it on our Wii U menu. So click on it so that there's a check mark on it and press install. Are you sure you want to install? Click yes. Where do you want to install it? So your NAND, obviously we backed it up. It is your Wii U's internal storage. And if you have a USB set up on your console, you will have the option for USB, as I just set mine up. I highly suggest trying to install everything to your USB, but if not, you can still install it to your NAND. But if you have the option, definitely choose USB as it's safer. So click USB and it'll bring you to this screen. It'll go through a few screens before going to the WUP Installer installing screen. Very quick, just press OK when it's done, and then it'll take you back here. Just press the home button, press the home button again, press the home button again, and close the software. And now you have WUP Installer GX2, the channel, on your Wii U menu, which means you don't have to go into the Mii Maker or the Homebrew Launcher to load this app, which you definitely will use in the future. And now I'm going to show you how to turn your physical copies, your Wii U games, to digital copies that you can play straight from your Wii U menu. So head into your Mii Maker, go over to the right page and click on wud.rpx. This is Wii U Disk Dumper. Click load and it should load into the app. And this is what it looks like. So unfortunately my Wii U, the disk drive does not work, so I'm not able to do this on this console. However, I'm going to put in footage from a different video on my other Wii U and show you how to do that there. And once you're here, you're gonna make sure the star here is on SD card. That's where we're gonna dump the game to. And bring the arrow all the way down to dump partition as .app. Press A. And it'll read your disk, and there we go. So under game it says Super Mario Maker. That is the one we're going to dump, so press A on it, and there we go, it'll start dumping. Now this can take a while depending on the size of the game, but I will meet you back when it's done. Dumping is done, so press A to return, and that is all we have to do on this app. So you can click the home button and we can head back over to our PC and set the files up. And once you're over on your PC, you're going to notice a new folder called WuDump. This is where your game is going to be. If you go inside, you're going to see a WUP folder, which should be different for each game that you back up, and inside will be your actual game. As you can see, mine is GM and a bunch of numbers. And when you go inside of your game folder, you should see a bunch of app, H3, and title files. This is what you want your game to look like. And back out to your game folder, you can rename this to whatever you like, but it's best to leave out special characters. So I just like to put a little abbreviation for it. So let's do SMM for Super Mario Maker. This can be really important when you have a bunch of games and you don't know which is which when it's just a bunch of numbers. So when you have the name that you want, right click on it and press cut, and then head back to the root of your SD card. And if you don't already have an install folder, just right click, create new, and call it install. All lowercase, and make sure it's spelled correctly. Go inside of your install folder, right click, and paste your game. And since we cut the file and pasted it, we can go back to the original source in the WuDump folder, and we can see that is not there anymore. This is important because we don't want to have the game twice on our SD card, as that'll take up twice the space. We don't want that, especially for larger games. And once you have your game inside of your install folder, we are ready to go back onto the Wii U and get it installed onto your Wii U menu. And once you're back on the Wii U, we're just going to install this the same way we did the WUP Installer GX2 channel. So head into there and get it installed. Again, if you don't have a USB drive set up, you can install it to your NAND. However, you need to make sure you have enough space before installing it. It can cause issues if you install it and there's not enough space. It will partially install, and we don't want to do that. So just make sure you have enough space before doing it if you do it onto your NAND. And we have it installed now, and you can see that I will eject my disk and play it from the Wii U menu. So just like that, we are playing our digital version of our disk game. Very cool. So once you're done with all of that, we are ready to homebrew the virtual Wii. So head into your Homebrew Launcher, and we're going to click on compatinstaller.elf. Load it up, and this is the program that we're going to be using to install the Homebrew channel on the Wii menu, as you can read here. So press A, and it will install it. It's very easy. So once it's installed, just press home to exit, and then back on your Wii U menu, we can load up into the virtual Wii and finish off there. So press next, and now is when we need a Wii remote and a sensor bar to use the Wii menu. This part is not needed if you only want to use the Wii U side of it. This is only if you want to homebrew your virtual Wii. And there we go, once you load in, you should see the homebrew channel ready to go. So let's load straight into it. And once it's loaded up, you should see all 4 of these apps. So there's a couple things that we need to do to set up our virtual Wii in order to do things with Homebrew. So the first thing we're going to do is the patched iOS 80 installer. Click load on it and we'll get that set up. It'll give you this big little blurb here. You can read it if you want. But once the 30 seconds is up, we can click any button to continue and get it installed. And it's very simple and quick. And there we go, it's done. So we'll press any button to exit, and we are back in the Homebrew channel. And now we're going to install custom iOSs. So head into CIOS installer and load it up. And once you're here, just click A. It should bring you to this screen where we are going to install 3 different custom iOSs. Now in the future, they sometimes like to change the settings when they update D2X CIOS installer. So if you do run into issues installing these iOSs, make sure to read the description and the pinned comment, as I will update it down there as the settings you need to use. So the 3 settings at the top here, we're going to change the first one to Beta 1 vWii. And if you can't see this option, try exiting the app and reloading it. If that doesn't work, try restarting your console. It should eventually show up. We're going to leave the base at 56 and the slot at 249. Press A and it will install the iOS. There we go, it will give you this success, so press A to continue. We're going to change the base to 57 and the slot to 250. Press A and it will install this one. And that one was a success. We have 1 more to go, so press A to continue. Change the base to 58 and the slot to 251. Press A and it will install the last custom iOS. We need these custom iOSs so that your virtual Wii can read a SD card or USB drive, which will have your games on it, which will allow USB loader to work. Otherwise, we won't be able to do much with Homebrew without these custom iOSs. And there we go, the last one was a success, so just press B to exit. And we're back into the Homebrew channel. Also, did you know you can actually pop these bubbles in the background? And now our virtual Wii is ready to be used to its full potential. So let's go into the Homebrew browser and I'll show you how to download Homebrew apps on your vWii. Now, obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the same as the Wii U, but it's for the Wii Homebrew apps. First time you load it, it'll run through this screen. Just let it do its thing, and we'll load into it shortly. So here you can download Homebrew games, you can get emulators, and if you're interested in other emulators, check out my Wii U modding playlist and you can get set up with all sorts of different retro games. So let's download one quick just to show you how it's done. If you didn't know, you can actually get Minecraft for the Wii by downloading CavX. Let's get Flappy Bird. So when you click on it, it'll show you a screen like this. It'll show you which controllers work, and then all you do is press download. And it'll download fairly quickly depending on the size. So pretty easy. You can also delete it here, but you just press B, click the home button, and you can return to the Homebrew channel. And there we go, we now have Flappy Bird. And now I'm going to show you how to play your Wii games on your virtual Wii. So let's head into USB Loader GX and load it up. As you can see, it is saying waiting for HDD. That's because the virtual Wii cannot read the Wii U HDD. So just press A to enable SD card mode if you don't have a USB drive that you want set up for the virtual Wii. As you can see, I got Wii Party set up. I added that into my WBFS folder before starting. Now you can download the covers if you want to see them there or in this mode, but I personally prefer this mode where it looks like the Wii menu and it holds all your games. Now don't worry, if you do not have any backups already, I'm going to show you how to install your physical games to USB Loader GX so you can play them without the disc. And to do that, all you need to do is insert your disc. Disc insert detected. We have the option to install it, but I'm going to hit cancel. So if you didn't get that message, just hit this plus icon and you'll have the option to install the game. Press yes, and it will detect the disc in your console. And there we go, it found Mario Kart Wii, 2.6 gigabytes, so it may take a little while, but press OK, and it will begin installing the game. So I will meet you when it's over. It should take about 20 minutes or so, we'll see. And we're reaching the end. That took, I think 25 minutes. And once it's done, it will be installed the same way as your other games. So you'll be able to find it on your folder, in your WBFS folder. And if we give it a second here, there we go, successfully installed Mario Kart Wii. Press OK and it should pop up here in a second. It'll reload and there it is, Mario Kart Wii. Now we can play it the same way we can play our other games. And then here you can also access your Homebrew apps by clicking this button, and you can load them straight from here. So if you made it this far into the video and you're wondering what else you can do with your modded Wii U, I have an entire playlist linked down below which can get you set up with the aroma environment. You can get custom Wii U menu themes, vWii emulators, you can manage your save data, install channels, install games, and so much more. So if you want to learn more about that and get your Wii U completely set up, check out that playlist and start from there. But anyways, that will be it for this guide. Hopefully you were able to follow it smoothly, and if you ran into any issues, I have an FAQ linked into that Google Doc for the Wii U Hacks Guide website. You can also comment down below and I can try to help you when I can. If you would like to become a member, I give them priority reply for YouTube comments. Just click the join button down below this video. You can also join my Discord server to get help there, or just come hang out. If you found this video helpful and your Wii U is now fully modded, make sure to like the video as that really helps the channel out. And if you want to support my channel in other ways, as these guides do take a lot to create, there is a link in the doc and below this video to Ko-Fi or Coffee to buy me a coffee if you please. But anyways guys, thank you for watching and I hope you have fun with your newly modded Wii U. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Holy crap! Wow! Oh.